scaffolding. Now this is exciting. I think in the last video I said we was going to start on the floors, and we was, but once we got it all opened out, I got some new measurements, sent some pictures over to our engineer, and our engineer said, whoa, 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 Lou, slow down, don't touch the floors. You need to sort out the remedial works on that wall because there's parts of it that are a bit unstable. So we need to get that wall pointed up and shored up. So Desi has very kindly brought me up this scaffolding, which is going to be a massive help. And while it's here, I want to do some works on the roof. I need to replace all the collar ties because I'm going to have them exposed as part of the vaulted ceiling. So yeah, so floor mode off, repointing mode is very much firmly on. Now the problem with that is I have the lime, I don't yet have the sand. Under here is our lime. Now it turned up about, I don't know, a few days ago. The problem is it's quicklime, so we're going to be using quicklime. You might know it as hot lime and air lime, lots of different names for it. But it is incredibly reactive with water. That's how it kind of works. So I've got it double tarped for now, so I'm going to get this tarp off. The weather, the forecast here, I tell you, you can't predict if it's going to rain, so we need to get all this shifted by hand into buckets and into there, and pray like mad it don't rain, basically. This is lime kibble, so it's not a powder form, but we really don't want to be breathing this in or touching it, so it's another mask and goggles situation. If you get this stuff in your eye, it's not going to be fun. Right, pop it. Okay, I've seriously underestimated exactly how many buckets I'd need. I've still got over half left and I've run out of buckets. The reason I'm decanting it into buckets, by the way, is because that's 375 kilos of lime. It was the cheapest way to get it. You can buy it already in buckets, but it's like 3 times the price, so I thought I'd just move it. But there's nowhere in this building at all where you can get in with a pallet truck, so to save a few quid, I thought I'd decant it. Come on, and get this stuff inside. And then get that covered back over ASAP because those clouds are a bit dark. Oy, oy, oy. Oh. While we're on the subject of lime, came across these while we was clearing out. These are the old original lime washing brushes that they would have used. Probably, I'm going to guess, horsehair, I don't know. How cool is that though? But we are a long way off from any kind of lime washing thoughts. Okay then, this is all I'm using for my mix. It's very simple. We've got lime, a local sand and some water, and that is it for inside anyway. The other stuff you saw me getting off the pallet, the big 25 kilo bags, that is volcanic ash, and that is going to be used in the mix for the exterior. But this is our first trial mix. If you are doing a cottage or you want to know anything about lime, please don't follow my advice. I have not got a clue what I'm doing. We are just going for a test run. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix it up dry almost here tonight, leave it overnight. Tomorrow I'll come and turn it over a couple of times, and then we'll add more water and mix it into a proper mix, and then we can test it out on a test patch in one of the outbuildings. So yeah, we're just gonna do a small amount and see how it goes. There we go. You can feel the heat coming off it, it's hot. Hence why they call it hot lime, I guess. I'm just using a 3-to-1 mix by volume, so 3 volumes of sand, 1 volume of lime and some water, and then tomorrow we'll turn that over and then we'll add more water and mix it into muck that we can use to point up the walls. Like I say, no idea if it's going to turn out right. I forgot to buy something to cover it over. Well, I did, but I used it for something else anyway, so we're just going to leave it, come back to it, and we're going to go and do a little bit of work on the walls we're going to be practicing with it on. About a week ago, maybe just over a week ago now, Emily and I raked out some of this wall. Now, raking out's when you get all the old mortar out, and we started to clean it off. Now, this section is pretty much done. There's a few missed bits, so I'm just going to do a tiny bit, make sure it's fully done, so that we can then do a test area with our pointing mix in there. Raking out and all this is what I'm going to have to do to the big gable wall in there next to get it ready for pointing. So I just want to do a test run and make sure that we're going to have a decent mix, because I wasn't planning on pointing the big feature wall, the main wall, first. I was hoping to get a lot more practice done, but that needs to be done so I can progress, or we can progress in the house.
So are we, never stopping at horizons.
It's really important that when I come to apply the lime, the wall is wet. So our walls are bone dry and the old mortar is so crumbly and dry. What I'm going to do is give it a good soaking now, probably come back tonight, soak it again, and then tomorrow I'll give it another spray before we put the lime mortar on. Hopefully, if it's come out all right. But like I say, I'm just playing it by ear. I'm just seeing how I go and making it up as I go along. So I'm not expecting it to go right first time. Beautiful, look at that. I should probably explain where Emily is in case you're wondering. So she's had to go back to England. So she's in England for a few days for work. Don't worry, I'll be picking up very soon and the banter will resume as normal. I'm sorry if I'm not all that entertaining this week. I've got a lot to concentrate on. So like back and forth with the engineer, all the different jobs that I'm doing, trying to make the videos and whatnot. So I'm just in concentration mode, and I just want to get us to a point where we're building back up and we know what we're doing and we can just go. But at the minute it's all planning and thinking and doing and all that stuff that you probably don't give a shit about.
Howdy, y'all.
Right then, I've bought a tool belt. Now, yes, I'm aware it probably makes me look a bit of a tool belt wanker, but before you take the piss, let me explain. So when I'm doing this raking out, I need a lot of different tools and I have to keep changing them all the time, and that's fine down here because I can just have them on the floor. But if you've ever worked at height before on scaffolding, having all your tools around you on the floor is a very bad move. So we need a tool belt. I think it looks quite good, and I'm pretty sure after last week's escapades, Emily's going to absolutely love it. So you can mock me all you want, go for it, put it in the comments, hit me with it. But yeah, I am going to need it when I'm up on the scaffolding, and I can't get on. I've tried the trousers before, you know, with all the pockets, they're great, but the minute you start loading up pockets with like chisels and stuff, my trousers just fall down, and no one needs to see that. The aim for this afternoon then is to get this wall on my right hand side looking a lot more like this wall on my left hand side, and then once I get the sand, because I only had one bucket of sand, so I went to the local sand place and picked up a sample. So we're going to try that. If that sounds good, we'll order tons of it, and then we can crack on with all the pointing inside, start pointing on the outside. It's going to be a pointing fest and we'll all be bored of it very quickly, but it's going to look good. Old channeler, safety first, Louise, safety first.
She made me trade my Harley for a Kia. Oh, help me, Lord. I saw my reflection in the minivan and thought, this ain't who I am. So I dug out my boots and threw out the fanny pack, sold the van and got my old Harley back. Cranked up the back and flew out the cul-de-sac, straight to the nearest bar. AC/DC on the jukebox, back in black. Got so drunk I singing like a maniac. Smoked so much I about had a heart attack. I woke up in someone's yard. The rascal is back.
Now at this point I just want to apologise to any proper stonemasons that are watching. I'm sure a grinder is probably frowned upon when it comes to old solid stone buildings, but I'm finding it's the only thing to get off this acrylic paint. I'm not sure if it's acrylic, but it's a modern paint and it's a sod to get off. So my process is pretty simple. Just grind it, get the paint off, and then you can start to see the stones underneath, and then you just basically there's like a kind of layer of plaster, so I'm getting that off, and then you can kind of just work your way and find all the cracks and crevices until eventually you find the stone, and then you can rake out the joints. Now this one's partially done, so that's done with a big wire brush, and then I'll change this and put a small one on for the fine little bits. And eventually that side will look like that side still needs a bit of finishing up, and then we can carry on pointing. But I'm sure for you guys watching, you know, you get the point. It's not rocket science, is it? We're just making a mess, getting dusty and getting the crap out. So on that note, I reckon I'm going to be at least the rest of the day on this, if not probably another half day. So I'll see you lot tomorrow. Want some breakfast, buddy? Want some breakfast? You got beef with carrots? You want beef with carrots? Left a hole in place of my heart. Want some breakfast, son? You want some breakfast? Good morning, folks. Exciting day today, lime day. We'll go in there and find out how it's gone, see how it goes, see how we get on. Like I say, I'm not expecting it to be perfect first time, it's just a trial run. Now, I was getting the footage off from yesterday last night, and I'm aware that on a normal day I talk quite fast, but I feel yesterday I was talking exceptionally fast, probably because I had a lot going on in my head and a lot to do and a lot still to do, so I'm just trying to get through things, but I'll try and do better today. Over my skin, nobody else would get this like you do. Like you do. Oh. Stand down, darling, now. We've gone too far this time. Left a hole in place of my heart. Okay, it's not going how I wanted it to go. I was hoping I could just knock up a small bit by hand, but I think it needs properly mixing. So I bought a paddle mixer. When we get to the big mixes for the plastering and stuff, I will obviously get a proper mixer. But just for now, we want the paddle mixer anyway. So Amazon's finest. You must go. Alright, well, it can't be that hard, can it? Surely it's just turn it on and go. Press the lock-in knob. Press the switch. Right then, I came and wet this wall up about 10 minutes ago. Hopefully it's about right. We're just going to give it a go. Like I say, this doesn't matter if it goes wrong, and to be honest, I'm probably going to rake it all back out anyway at some point. That way I can check how it's set in, and I want to do it properly. So I'm not going to bother filling in the big gaps with stone, so I might do. We'll see how we go, but yeah, I just want to see how it goes, really. I've got a little one of these somewhere. So I've bought a large variety of different pointing tools. So I've got a smaller hawk, but it's metal. I don't know how I'm going to get on with a metal hawk. And then, I can't remember what these are called, pointing fingers or something, but these are but obviously I've got some big gaps, so I've got myself a bigger trowel, and then various different sizes of them there. Now, because I'm right-handed, I'm going to work from right to left, so that I'm always going into the work that I've already done. And that's about the only tip I've got, because like I say, this is all new. Well, with lime anyway, it's all new. Ah, it's fine.
I'll take my time, dear, just to keep you around here. Know what they say, you can't keep the clouds away, away, far away.
One thing to note, it is a lot harder than what it looks, especially because I've got such different gaps in the stones and whatnot, and obviously I need to fill gaps in. Now, if I was plastering this wall, well, I am going to be plastering this wall, but if you're plastering a wall, this doesn't need to be that neat because you're going to cover it all over with plaster. So for me, it's more important that I get all the gaps fully enclosed so there's nowhere for the water to sit and whatnot and to make the wall structurally sound. However, when we go in there, Emily wants that gable wall made a feature of, in which case it will need to be neat. So I'm going to do this section as if I'm trying to get it neat. It's going to take a bit of practice. Now, if you ever go down the lime route, there is a plethora of opinions and whatnot online, different limes you can use, different limes for different buildings, blah blah blah. There's also a lot of opinions on the correct way of pointing, so all I'm going to do is practice and find a system that works for me, because some people say you need to do all the upright joints and then go across, some people say do a cross and then do the upright, some people just say work in a corner and fan out. I think it's just personal preference, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to practice. Luckily, we've got an awful lot of stone to practice on. I said I was going to talk slower. I don't think I spoke any slower, so apologies for that. But look, it is what it is, you know. From the southeast of England, everything's fast. In fact, if you don't move fast, you don't get nothing. Okay, that is all done. We have to leave it for quite some time now before we can go back to it, and we whack it back and then brush it up with a churn brush. I need to keep it moist, make sure it doesn't set too quickly. I'm not holding out much hope, but we'll see how it goes. There's a couple of things I wanted to show you that I forgot in the previous videos that we found in the wall. So the first one is a number 43 piece of clay pipe, and that would have been like a smoking pipe. So obviously it's missing its stalk. But yeah, that was in the walls. Desi held on to that for me. Now this next one is really cool. I've been looking after them. We've got some intact dairy logs. I've put my hand over there because it gives away our town name. But yeah, so this was a dairy farm at some point, and then that has all the milking logs, and they're pretty good nick. Now they're dated, so this is the pass book, and this is what the cooperative, I guess, would have come up and logged the milk in and out, because it says like gallons in, gallons out. Yeah, they're dated 1913, which is quite a long time ago, so in good condition like that. 1916, so just 3 years before the Easter Rising here in Ireland, which was, I think it lasted about 6 days, a plea for independence. Eventually, Ireland gained independence from Britain in 1922, so it's madness. Like, you can just picture 3 years before that happens, they're there counting their milk. And then my favourite, my absolute favourite, and I've been hoping and praying this happened. Now, back in yonder year, back in the day, when they did these stone walls, they used to place a penny somewhere in the walls for good luck. And I've been praying that we find one, and we haven't until yesterday when I found this one. So this was in the wall of the shed outside, the one I was raking out yesterday. And it's a penny, a Victoria, and I think, if I wet it up, you might be able to see a little bit better what's on there. I think there's a date right at the bottom here, and I think it's either 1853 or 1858, but that is one old penny. On the back, I think it's Victoria again in a, I don't know how much you can see in a squatting position. But yeah, how cool is that? A penny from 1850. So, and I'm going to keep hold of it. I'm going to keep hold of all this cool stuff that I find and try and frame it or put it up somewhere. But how cool is that to have found that penny? That has made me very happy. Now I'm going to have a look on eBay. I've had a look on eBay actually, and they are worth a few €100, but I'm not going to sell it. It's definitely staying with the house. I think it belongs with the house. So yeah, I need to go put that somewhere safe and then find a way that maybe I can try and clean it up a little bit, because that is awesome. Right then, the next job that I need to do, and all the health and safety conscious and all my internet nans, YouTube nans, might want to look away now, because I need to go up there. Right. It's a little bit dark up here, so apologies. Now, as part of our vaulted ceiling design, Emily wants some exposed timbers. So we're going to leave the collar ties showing. So I'm going to plasterboard up to the apex. Everything will be white plasterboard except for the collar ties, which, if you don't know what a collar tie is, it's these ones that run across there. So I'm going to replace those, and then we'll have to bring the roof down a bit to get all the insulation and ventilation in, and then we'll be able to board over and hopefully have a nice vaulted ceiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 24. To be honest, they need doing anyway because they're all different widths and lengths and none of them run parallel with each other, so it would have been a nightmare to try and, well, you wouldn't have boarded straight across. I would have had to faff with them anyway, so it's a job I wasn't expecting to do yet, but it'll be a job worth doing. It is a considerable amount of time later. In fact, it's nearly dark outside, or it won't be long. So I've had dinner, walked the dog, whatnot. I've been waiting ages for this to dry up enough so that we can whack it back with this. Now, this is a churn brush, and I've done a little test patch, and it seems okay. So the idea is we just whack it, brush it, get any lime off the stones with a wire brush, which I've got around here somewhere, and then that should make it look nice, hopefully. We will see. It definitely looks a lot better now that it's been whacked back and brushed with the brush. I'm not too sure about the colour, but I do think that by tomorrow it'll dry a completely different colour. Maybe even not tomorrow. It's taken a long time to dry. It is going there though. So the stones I put in earlier, so this is one I added. I don't know if you can see that, but it is solid as a rock already. That is going nowhere. I mean, I can't even get any birches on that to pull it out. So I'm quite happy with that, but it's just, if we was plastering this wall, like I say, I'd bring all this point in pretty much flush to the stone. But because we're going to try and make a feature of the wall in there, we're trying to get the right look. But we'll have to see. So I'm happy with the set. Just don't know about the colour, but I think the sand dictates the colour, but we'll have to see what it looks like in the morning. So I think we're done for today. I don't think there's much else I can do. There's no point keep brushing it. I'm just going to brush it all out if I keep doing that. So yeah, we'll have to see what it looks like in the morning. This morning's task is a very simple one indeed. All I've got to do is drive to the airport to pick up Emily. I've just gone and checked on the lime and it's still the same colour. Now, first thing this morning, I don't know why I did this, but I had a little bit of sand left, so I mixed up a batch hot and just used it hot. And I've added some of the volcanic ash. I'll go through what the volcanic ash is for eventually, but I'm just gonna see if it changes the colour. And I've got to be honest, I quite like using it hot without all that messing around slaking it the night before. Lime is a very slow process. I've got to tell you though, it does feel nice to be in regular clothes and like clothes that aren't covered in dust. I am sick. It's in every nook and cranny. It's in my ears, it's in my eyes, it's up my nose, everywhere. You get the picture. So it's nice to just feel clean for 5 minutes. Right, to the airport. There she is, with my backpack on that's bigger than her.
Hello! Yeah, you look so weird driving this little car.
Nice to see you as well.
It looks so weird.
I'm illegally parked, but last time I was illegally parked and whizzed off, we had a load of complaints. I'm going to give you a key.
Oh, I didn't even know you was recording. Thanks for the heads up there. I ain't even brushed my hair today.
Is that different to any other day?
Yeah, sometimes I brush it, most days.
Most days.
Yeah, oh, and I'm stinking and everything.
Well, they can't smell you. It's not smelling.
Just as well.
No, you're alright.
Anyway, I do need a shower though.
Nothing wrong with a bit of natural pheromones.
Shut up. Oh, should I brush my hair? I might have cinnamon bun around my face. I think I was eating my cinnamon bun a bit messy because the lady next to me was like, here's a napkin. I said, thanks.
I wouldn't want to be sat next to you on the plane actually. Snack, 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 snack.
Honestly, I've nearly devoured the bun. Where's AJ and Sammy?
AJ and Sammy are good. I've done your first batch of lime pointing.
Have you done the pointing?
And not all of it, just a little test patch.
Well, I ain't been gone that long, Louise.
You're not going to like the colour. The colour only matters for the gable wall. The rest of it doesn't matter because we're going to be plastering over it and then lime washing.
Well, can we not change the colour? Is it not like a...
Well, then that means I've got to find another sand, then do another test run with another sand. It takes about 900 years to dry. It's just a faff.
What colour is it then?
Grey at the minute. I was expecting it to be white. Oh, I've done it again. I've done it again.
I did think so actually. I was like, why is she going back round?
I've gone the wrong way. How do I do this? Because it's right at the next one. Picked up a couple of extra buckets of sand on the way home, a different sand this time so we can retry it because I don't think this is what I've done in here is the one, but we'll have a look. That's open. We'll have a look how it's going.
Yeah, it's not the one.
It's the colour, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it still might dry white, but I'm expecting it to be a lot different colour. This is the new one I've tried, so I need to brush that back later and then it will look more like this. But if it weren't for the colour, what about the finish?
Oh yeah, I like the finish.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I pictured, but just not that. I feel like it should blend in more. Like, I feel like it just looks like concrete.
It does look like concrete. Oh, obviously, like, there's some other places, there's some big bits here where I should have stuck a couple of extra stones, but it was just a test
Yeah.
run.
Oh yeah. Now that's how I imagined it, but just sandy colour, not concrete colour.
It does look. It should get lighter. So
Yeah.
I'll do a new mix tonight, and then tomorrow I'll practice some more. So next time we see you, hopefully not you, but next time we see you people, it should be better. Right, should we go and see your puppets?
Yes, that's what I really want to see. Oh, look at her.
I've heard you coming.
Yeah. She just wants feeding. Hello, buddy! Hiya, bud!
Have you been talking to another dog with them jeans on?
Yeah.
'Cause he's less interested in you and more interested in the smell of your jeans.
Hiya, bud! Hiya, buddy! Hiya! Could you smell the other doggy? You're good. Oh, you're a good boy. Yeah, you're a good boy.
I see your cat's really bothered. She's just
No,
gone.
she's had her lunch, didn't she? So she don't care. You fed her before you came and got me, Louise. I told you never feed her first. Otherwise she doesn't want to see me.
So there we go then, another week where I've been renovating this cottage all by myself.
Oh my God! I've had a stressful, busy week, Louise.
Emily is incredibly busy with work at the moment, and you're also doing a fancy qualification on top of working full-time, aren't you?
I am indeed, and yeah, this is why I look so tired.
So yeah, anyway, we're going to go get reacquainted with each other, and I'm going to go and play with lime some more and sort out the mix, and yeah, we'll have to see you next week when hopefully we can get cracking. We've got the sand ordered and stuff like that.
Oh, it's quite exciting, isn't it? I'm really glad to be back and start poking
Things in holes, and on that note, we will see you on the next one. Bye.